A teacher couldn't hold back the tears after being unjustly fired for helping a poor girl outside of school hours. She decided to do this. Emma, a young teacher of only 26 years old, enthusiastically arrived at her first day of work at the prestigious Cedarwood School. With a confident smile and a sparkle in her eyes, she brought dreams of making a difference in the lives of her students. The school, known for its strict traditions and academic excellence, was a challenge Emma was eager to face. Walking through the impeccably decorated corridors, she felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. Each classroom, each student, represented an opportunity for her to prove her worth. Emma quickly stood out among her colleagues not only because of her youth, but also because of her innovative approach to teaching. Her classes were engaging, full of interactive activities that made students interested in even the most difficult subjects. The energy and passion she demonstrated were contagious to both students and other teachers. However, despite the welcoming facade, Emma soon realized that not everyone was willing to accept change so easily. Tradition was a strong pillar at Cedarwood School, and any deviation was seen with critical eyes. The first days were a roller coaster of emotions. Emma faced unexpected challenges, from adjusting to the school's strict rules to gaining the trust of students who were used to a more conservative teaching style. Still, she remained firm, determined to create an environment where each student could thrive. Emma found inspiration in small moments of her students' progress. A smile of understanding here, a curious question there. Each positive interaction was a reminder of why she had chosen this profession. Despite the difficulties, she was determined not to be discouraged. In the school corridors, Emma began to notice some inequalities that could not be ignored. Students from different economic backgrounds seemed to have very different school experiences. Those who came from wealthier families had access to additional resources and support, while the less fortunate struggled to keep up. This disparity touched Emma's heart, who always believed in education as a tool for equality. She knew she had to do something, but had no idea that her actions would put her on a tumultuous and transformative path. During the first weeks of class, Emma noticed a student who always sat at the back of the room, almost as if she wanted to hide. Amy was a shy girl with big, curious eyes, but rarely participated in classroom activities. Something about Amy's demeanor caught Emma's attention, and she decided to observe the girl's behavior more closely. It quickly became clear that Amy was struggling to keep up with her classmates. Her grades were low, and she constantly seemed lost in the material. Emma decided to approach Amy subtly, trying to gain her trust without pressuring her. One day after class, she called Amy for a brief conversation. "Amy, how are you feeling about the classes? Is everything okay?" Emma asked with a welcoming smile. The girl hesitated before responding, clearly uncomfortable, but the kindness in Emma's eyes seemed to relax her a bit. I try, teacher, but sometimes it's hard to understand everything," Amy confessed in a low, timid voice. Determined to help, Emma began paying more attention to Amy's interactions with other students and her responses during classes. She realized that despite the difficulties, Amy had a special spark in her eyes when talking about certain subjects, especially literature and arts. Seeing this hidden potential, Emma decided she needed to find a way to support Amy more effectively. The teacher believed that a little extra attention could make a significant difference in the girl's life. Emma suggested to Amy that they meet after classes for some additional study sessions. Initially, Amy seemed hesitant, perhaps out of fear of being judged or drawing more attention to her difficulties. But Emma's kindness and determination eventually convinced her. "Let's do this together without rush." "I'm sure you can improve a lot," said Emma, encouraging Amy with a sincere smile. Amy timidly agreed, and so their study sessions began. In the first sessions, Emma focused on creating a comfortable and safe environment for Amy. They met in the school library, a quiet place where they could work without interruptions. Emma prepared extra material and explained concepts in different ways, seeking the best way for Amy to understand. Gradually, Amy began to gain confidence, asking questions and getting more involved. The relationship between the two grew stronger, and Emma felt a growing admiration for Amy's determination. Amy began to open up more about her personal life, sharing that her family faced financial difficulties. This revelation deeply touched Emma, who started to better understand the barriers Amy faced daily. Despite the adversities, the girl demonstrated incredible resilience, which only increased Emma's determination to help her. "You are very strong, Amy. We'll overcome this together," said Emma, feeling an increasingly strong connection with the student. Emma's words sounded like a promise that better days were ahead. As weeks passed, Emma observed significant improvements in Amy's performance. Her grades started to rise, and the girl showed renewed confidence in her abilities. This progress brought immense joy to Emma, who saw in Amy a living proof that dedication and support could transform lives. Amy struggled with challenges beyond academic difficulties. Her family, living with limited resources, barely managed to cover basic expenses, leaving little room for additional educational supports. Amy had no access to the internet or extra books at home and often studied by candlelight. The young student tried to balance her school responsibilities with household chores and, on some nights, the need to help her parents with informal jobs. This reality made her struggle even more impressive. At school, Amy faced the veiled prejudice of some classmates. Coming from a humble family, she did not participate in the same social activities as the other students, often leaving her isolated. The feeling of being different weighed on her shoulders, but Amy found strength in Emma's encouraging words. During the study sessions, Emma not only taught school subjects but also transmitted confidence and hope, helping Amy believe in her own worth. This relationship was a relief amidst so many difficulties. Even with academic advances, Amy still faced the constant pressure of maintaining high grades to keep her scholarship. Any slip could mean the end of her education at the renowned school. This pressure affected her sleep and health. But Amy did not want to disappoint her parents or Emma, who believed so much in her potential. The study sessions with Emma became a refuge, where she could concentrate and improve without the weight of judgment. Every small progress was a victory, but the journey was far from easy. There were days when discouragement threatened to dominate Amy, moments when equations seemed indecipherable and texts impossible to understand. At those times, Emma was a beacon of hope. "You can do it, Amy. Let's try again. Together," the teacher said, patiently explaining the material until it made sense. Emma's persistence was contagious, and even in the darkest moments, Amy found strength to continue. She started to reserve more time for studying, even if it meant sacrificing moments of rest. Amy's determination to improve was evident, and this began to reflect in her grades and the way she conducted herself in class. However, the constant effort took its toll. Amy was exhausted, physically and mentally. There were days when she questioned if it was worth continuing to fight. But the memory of Emma's smile and her parents' encouraging words gave her the strength she needed to keep going. In school exams, Amy began to surprise everyone. Her grades, once a cause for concern, now showed an upward curve. Teachers who once viewed her with disdain began to notice her effort and dedication. Emma had become a mentor and friend, and this special bond gave Amy the motivation to persist. The emotional and academic support received from Emma was a fundamental pillar in her daily struggle. Amy knew that without Emma, it would have been much more difficult to get this far. Observing Amy's effort and determination, Emma felt increasingly compelled to help in every possible way. The after-school study sessions were yielding visible results, but Emma wanted to do more. She knew that classroom time was not enough to address all of Amy's difficulties. Moreover, Emma found herself increasingly emotionally involved, worried about the girl's future. Determined to make a difference, Emma made an audacious decision. She would dedicate more of her personal time to help Amy. Emma started meeting Amy in places outside of school, like the public library, and even in quiet cafes in the city. These informal meetings allowed them to discuss not only school content, but also Amy's personal challenges. "I want you to know that I am here for you, no matter the situation," Emma said, one day, holding Amy's hand. The young teacher felt that these additional sessions were creating a solid foundation for Amy's growth, both academically and personally. The bond between them strengthened with each meeting. These meetings outside of school hours were a risk. Emma knew that. The school had strict rules about teacher involvement outside the school environment, but Emma believed that Amy's needs justified this exception. She was aware of the possible repercussions, but her desire to help Amy outweighed any fear of punishment. Emma was convinced that she was doing the right thing, and this gave her the strength to continue. Each session was an opportunity to see Amy flourish and overcome on her limitations. Emma also began seeking additional resources to help Amy. She contacted local organizations and secured study materials, books, and even access to online tutoring. Each additional resource was a victory, and Emma made sure to celebrate each achievement with Amy. Amy, in turn, received each gift with gratitude and renewed determination, knowing she was not alone in her journey. Over time, Amy's improvements became even more noticeable. She not only improved her grades but also began to participate more actively in classes and school activities. This transformation did not go unnoticed, and soon other teachers began to notice the difference. Emma, although satisfied with Amy's progress, kept her extra sessions a secret, aware that revealing them could jeopardize everything. Emma's dedication was an act of love and commitment, guided by the certainty that she was doing the right thing. Emma also dedicated herself to teaching Amy skills that went beyond the school curriculum. They discussed the future, possible careers, and even Amy's dreams and aspirations. "Have you ever thought about what you would like to do after school?" Emma asked during one of these sessions. Amy, who had never had the opportunity to reflect on this, began to explore possibilities that previously seemed unreachable. Emma's mentorship was shaping Amy into a confident young woman aspiring to great achievements. Emma's decision to continue helping Amy outside of school hours was driven by a deep sense of justice and compassion. For her, education had no time or space limits. Emma believed that her duty as a teacher extended beyond the school walls, reaching wherever it was needed. She was willing to face the consequences of her actions, convinced that she was giving Amy a chance at a better future. Emma, seeing Amy's growth, knew she was on the right path, even if it was a lonely and risky one. The remarkable improvements in Amy's performance began to attract everyone's attention at school. Her teachers noticed the drastic change in her grades and classroom participation, and her peers began to see Amy in a new light. Comments started circulating, praising the girl's impressive transformation. However, this attention also brought closer scrutiny of how such a rapid and significant change was happening. It was then that some began to question what was behind Amy's sudden success. One day, during a teachers' meeting, the principal mentioned Amy's improvements, praising her efforts. However, one of the teachers, Mr. Thompson, who had always been skeptical about Amy's potential, raised the issue of the extra help she might be receiving. "I've heard rumors that Amy is receiving tutoring outside of school hours," he said, casting a suspicious look in Emma's direction. The room fell silent, and Emma felt a chill down her spine. She knew her dedication could be misinterpreted. From that moment, the school administration began to investigate Emma and Amy's activities more closely. Weeks of careful observation led to discoveries that confirmed the rumors. Emma was indeed dedicating extra hours to help Amy outside of work hours. The news spread quickly, and soon the situation became a hot topic of discussion among teachers and the administration. The school, which prided itself on its strict rules and code of conduct, saw this situation as a potential serious violation. Emma was called to a meeting with the school board. The room was full of serious faces and critical looks. "Emma, we are aware of what you have been doing for Amy outside of school hours," began the principal, with a worried expression. Emma tried to explain her intentions, talking about Amy's urgent needs and how these extra sessions were making a significant difference in her life. However, the board seemed more concerned with the broken rules than the positive impact on the student. During this tense meeting, Emma realized that her actions were being viewed negatively, something she had never anticipated. The focus of the discussion was more on the violation of school policies than on Amy's well-being. "Rules exist for a reason, Emma. We cannot allow exceptions," said the principal firmly. Emma felt her heart tighten, knowing that despite her best intentions, she was in an extremely delicate position. The secret she had kept, believing it was for Amy's best, now threatened her career. The news of the investigation spread quickly through the school, and Emma began to feel the pressure and judging looks from some of her colleagues. Despite the silent support of some teachers who understood her intentions, the school's atmosphere became tense. Amy, realizing something was wrong, tried to talk to Emma, but the teacher asked her to stay focused on her studies and not worry. Emma knew she needed to protect Amy from the whole situation, even if it meant facing the consequences alone. The situation reached its peak when a decision was made by the administration. Emma would be called to a disciplinary hearing where her future at the school would be decided. The news fell like a bomb among the students and teachers who supported Emma, but for her, the priority was still Amy. She continued to support the girl discreetly, knowing that each study session could be the last. Emma felt a mixture of fear and determination, aware that her battle was far from over. The morning of the disciplinary hearing arrived faster than Emma expected. She entered the meeting room with a heavy heart, but held her head high, determined to explain her reasons. The principal and some faculty members were present, all with serious expressions. Emma began to tell her side of the story, explaining how she saw potential in Amy and felt the need to help her beyond school hours. However, her words seemed to fall on deaf ears, with the board more concerned about maintaining the rules than understanding the positive impact of her actions. "Emma, we understand your intentions, but you violated a fundamental rule of our institution," said the principal, with a grave expression. "We value your commitment to the students, but we cannot ignore the fact that you disrespected our policies." Emma tried to argue, highlighting the positive results and Amy's progress, but each word seemed insufficient to change the verdict. The decision was already made. "Unfortunately, we will have to terminate your contract with the school," concluded the principal, leaving Emma stunned and desolate. The news of her dismissal spread quickly through the school. Students and teachers who supported Emma were shocked and outraged. Amy, in particular, was devastated upon hearing that her mentor was being removed for helping her. "This isn't fair," murmured Amy, with tears in her eyes, feeling powerless in the face of the situation. Emma tried to console her, assuring that everything would be okay, but deep down, she also felt betrayed and wronged. The farewell was bitter, but Emma was determined to keep her head held high. On Emma's last day at school, many students and some teachers came to express their support. Letters, flowers, and hugs accumulated, showing how much she was appreciated and respected. "You made a difference in my life, teacher," said a student, handing her a handwritten letter. Emma held back tears, touched by the show of affection, but the weight of injustice still hung over her shoulders. She knew her departure would not only affect her life, but also Amy's and other students she inspired. Amy, in particular, was inconsolable. "You taught me to believe in myself," she said, hugging Emma tightly. "I don't know what I'm going to do without you." Emma held the girl and, with a choked voice, promised that she would continue to support her in some way. "You are strong, Amy." "Never forget that," said Emma, trying to pass courage to the girl. However, the uncertainty about both their futures was palpable, and Emma knew she needed to find a way to continue helping Amy outside of the school environment. Emma left the school with a mix of sadness and determination. She knew the fight was just beginning. Despite the pain of the dismissal, Emma felt a flame of hope and an unwavering desire to continue making a difference. On the first night after her dismissal, Emma sat alone in her small apartment, tears silently rolling down her face. She felt a mix of sadness and frustration, the injustice of the situation weighing heavily on her heart. She remembered every moment shared with Amy, every small progress, every smile of understanding. The pain of losing her job was deep, but the greater pain came from the worry about her students' futures, especially Amy's. Emma knew she needed to find the strength to move forward. But that night, she allowed herself to feel the pain in all its intensity. In the following days, Emma began to reflect on everything that had happened. Between tears and moments of silence, she mentally revisited every decision she made, every action that led her to that point. She wondered if she had done the right thing, if there was another way to help Amy without violating the school's rules. But deep down, Emma knew that her commitment to Amy and the other students was unwavering. She did not regret her actions, even if the cost had been high. This deep reflection helped her rediscover her passion and purpose in education. The visits to the public library to continue helping Amy became moments of emotional renewal for Emma. Seeing Amy's continuous progress, her growing confidence and her unwavering determination was a constant reminder of the value of her work. Each study session was a living testament that she was making a difference, regardless of the circumstances. Emma found comfort and strength in Amy's gratitude and enthusiasm, who never ceased to express her thanks. These sessions were a balm for her wounded heart, proof that her tears had not been in vain. During one of these nights of reflection, Emma decided that she needed to find a way to turn her pain into action. She thought about the many students who, like Amy, needed support and guidance. Emma realized that her experience at school could be a starting point for something bigger, something that could impact even more lives. She began sketching plans for a community tutoring program where she could continue to help young students. Each tear shed fueled her determination to make a difference, even outside the traditional school environment. Emma also began attending community meetings and events, seeking support for her new project. She spoke passionately about her experience and the need for a more inclusive educational system. Her words, laden with emotion and authenticity, began to attract the attention of influential people. Gradually, Emma felt she was building a support network for her tutoring project. Each new connection was a renewed hope, a possibility of turning her vision into reality. Determined to turn her pain into something positive, Emma made a bold and unexpected decision. Inspired by the study sessions with Amy and the support she received from the community, she decided to create an organization dedicated to helping students from humble families. With the name Light of Knowledge, the organization aimed to provide free tutoring and educational resources for needy young people. Emma used her savings and raised funds with the help of friends and supporters, willing to risk everything to make a difference. The mission was clear: ensure that no child was left behind. The news of the creation of Light of Knowledge spread quickly, generating a mix of surprise and admiration. Many who knew Emma and her passion for education were moved by her initiative. Amy was one of the first to enroll as a student and also as a volunteer, wanting to give back the support she received. "Let's do this together, teacher," said Amy, with a determined sparkle in her eyes. The organization soon began to gain traction, with other teachers and volunteers joining the cause. Emma not only offered tutoring classes but also organized workshops and events to inspire and motivate students. She wanted to create an environment where every child could feel that their potential was limitless. The results began to appear quickly. Students who previously struggled with grades now showed significant progress. Grateful parents witnessed the transformation of their children, and Emma felt immense joy in seeing the impact of her work. Each success, no matter how small, was a victory for Light of Knowledge. To sustain the organization, Emma had to learn to be not only an educator, but also a manager and fundraiser. She attended community events, presented proposals to sponsors, and used social media to promote the cause. The response was incredible, with donations and support coming from unexpected places. Local businesses, former students, and even strangers touched by Emma's story contributed generously. Light of Knowledge began to grow beyond initial expectations, expanding its reach and impacting more and more lives. One day, Emma received an unexpected call from a major local television network. Interested in her story, they wanted to do a report on Light of Knowledge and how it was transforming education in the community. Emma saw this as an opportunity to further expand the project and reach new supporters. The filming crew came and recorded the classes, interviewed students and volunteers, and captured the essence of Emma's mission. When the report aired, the effect was immediate and overwhelming. The media exposure brought a wave of new volunteers and donations, but also something Emma did not expect: the attention of the school board. Seeing the positive impact of her initiative, board members began to reconsider their rigid policies. They realized that there might be room for innovation and flexibility within the traditional educational system. Emma was invited to a meeting with the board, where she could present her vision and discuss possible collaborations. It was an unexpected chance to influence systemic changes. During the meeting, Emma spoke passionately and clearly about the importance of inclusive and adaptable education. Every child has potential, and it's our responsibility as educators to help them achieve it, she said, looking into the eyes of each board member. The sincerity of her words and the proven success of Light of Knowledge made many present reconsider their opinions. At the end of the meeting, a partnership proposal was put on the table, something Emma never expected so soon. Emma accepted the proposal with gratitude and enthusiasm, seeing it as a chance to further extend the reach of her mission. The partnership would allow Light of Knowledge to access additional resources and help more students. The news of the collaboration was received with joy by the community, who saw in Emma a true hero of education. The young teacher who was once fired for helping a student was now shaping the future of many. Emma felt she was finally on the right path. Emma was sitting in her small office surrounded by piles of books and papers when she received an unexpected message. It was from the principal of Cedarwood School, asking for an urgent meeting. With her heart racing, Emma didn't know what to expect. When she arrived at the school, she was greeted by the principal and other board members, all with serious but friendly expressions. "Emma," began the principal, "we want to talk about the impact of your work and a possible reconciliation." The following meeting was full of emotions. The principal explained that after seeing the extraordinary results of Light of Knowledge and the transformation in students' lives, the school recognized that it had made a mistake in firing Emma. "Your work inspired a change in our policy," said the principal with a warm smile. They not only wanted to apologize, but also offer Emma a leadership position where she could implement her innovative ideas within the school. Emma, surprised and emotional, struggled to hold back the tears. Accepting the offer, Emma returned to Cedarwood with a renewed vision and an even clearer mission. Her first action was to integrate Light of Knowledge into the school's curriculum, offering tutoring sessions and resources to all students in need. The school community received the news with enthusiasm, and Emma began to work tirelessly to create a more inclusive environment. Amy, who was now a shining example of success, joined Emma as a mentor for other students, sharing her own journey of overcoming. The story of Emma and Amy spread throughout the city, inspiring other educators and community leaders to adopt more inclusive practices. The tutoring sessions of Light of Knowledge grew, and new centers were opened in neighboring schools. Emma was invited to speak at educational conferences, where she shared her experiences and encouraged other teachers to look beyond rigid rules and see students as individuals with unique potential. Each lecture was a new beginning, a new opportunity to spread her message of hope and determination. Emma and Amy became symbols of resilience and courage. Their story was told in newspapers, TV programs, and documentaries, always highlighting the importance of emotional support and commitment to education. Emma never tired of telling how a teacher's dedication and a student's determination changed their lives and the community around them. Amy, now a confident and inspiring young woman, dreamed of becoming a teacher to continue Emma's legacy. Together, they showed that education was a transformative force. However, Emma never forgot the challenges they faced. Each obstacle overcome was a reminder of the strength they found in each other. Light of Knowledge was not just an organization, it was a movement, a statement that everyone deserves a fair chance. And with each student they helped, the flame of change burned brighter. Emma's reintegration at Cedarwood School was a milestone not only for her, but for the entire school community. Teachers were inspired by her approach, adopting more empathetic and personalized methods in their classes. The changes implemented by Emma resulted in a more welcoming and productive environment for all students, regardless of their backgrounds. The success of Amy and many other students was living proof that dedication and the right support could transform lives. Emma's impact extended beyond the school's borders. Local politicians began considering educational reforms inspired by her work, seeking to create policies that favored equal opportunities for all students. Emma, now a respected voice in education, participated in committees and councils directly influencing decisions that would shape the future of education in the region. The exciting turnaround in Emma's life was a testament to the power of education and the strength of the human spirit. Her story, marked by challenges and triumphs, served as a reminder that even in the most difficult circumstances, there is always the possibility of change. Emma and Amy, with their lives intertwined by an act of compassion and determination, continued to inspire everyone around them, proving that the true measure of success is the positive impact we leave on the world. If you enjoyed Emma and Amy's incredible story, subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any of the next videos. If you love exciting chronicles and want to support our channel to keep bringing more quality content, consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the first pinned comment. Your help is essential for us to keep improving. Thank you for your support. See you in the next exciting chronicle.